How are y'all doing? I have plenty of experience moderating on Twitch if you ever need help with that. That'll be really awesome. That'll be really awesome. Hello. Hello. I don't know if it's working. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be working. How we I mean oh! I see the levels. So it seems like it's working. Oh, Danny, you pinned a comment and then unpinned a comment. Hi, Red. Reef knows how to stream on Twitch. I know Reef knows. Reef, who is not here right now because she is an adult with a proper job. We can hear you again now. Yay! Um, yeah, I just want to like stream separately on YouTube, anyways, because like I get to plug in my microphone, so I hope the audio sounds better. Um, and I get to share. I get to share screen, so I like that. Okay, we're not even halfway through the chapter yet. Rose also offered earlier. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, Rose and Danny are my like mods here, anyways. Uh, I don't know if Rose could do both at the same time. Not even half. Yeah, it is a very long chapter. This is exactly what it feels like when I have to do the Unchanging Polaris, which I will get to. I have to finish the Unchanging Polaris so I can get to the Art of Spoiling Pretty Girls. Anyway. I'm gonna drink some more water and then I'll keep going. If you need a third, let me know. I'm happy to learn. Oh my god. Sounds on the YouTube. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. After a while, they took a break, the two of them setting their half finished carvings aside. Hours had slipped by, the quiet scrape of blades against wood blending with the muted hum of the TV in the background. Their progress wasn't perfect. Rumi's turtle still looked a little more like a rock with legs, but it was progress nonetheless. Hungry? Celine asked at last, collecting their empty tea mugs. Rumi tugged the glove off her hand, brushing the curls of wood shavings from her lap. She nodded and followed her into the kitchen. Got your jorim okay? Celine asked, already pulling green onions and chili peppers from the fridge. Hmm, Rumi hummed, standing awkwardly by the counter as Celine set to work. The knife came down with clean precision, each slice deliberate, measured, and evenly spaced. She didn't waste movement. Her chopping had the rhythm of habit, steady and practiced. Rumi thought of Mira, of how she moved differently in the kitchen. Were fluid, instinctive. When she cooked, it was like the knife was an extension of her hand, guided more by by feeling than thought. Celine's cooking was muscle memory. Mira's was second nature. Rumi realized she'd been staring. Her fingers twitched against each other as the rhythmic sound of steel meeting wood filled the kitchen. Something on your mind, Rumi? Celine asked without looking up, her voice calm. Someone rang our door. I hope my roommate can get it. Something on your mind, Rumi? Celine asked without looking up, her voice calm, as steady as hands. Rumi blinked, startled, and let out a soft breath. Her shoulders slumped. Do you think you could help me learn how to chop or dice or whatever it's called? She hesitated, then added in a quieter voice. Maybe cooking in general? The knife paused only for a second before moving again, Celine's eyes sliding toward her with a raised brow. Rumi flushed, forcing herself to keep talking before she lost her nerve. It's for Mira. I want to learn so she doesn't have to worry so much. For the first time, the knife stilled completely. Rumi shifted, her throat tightening. She suddenly realized Celine didn't know what had happened after their last late night conversation. Are we getting the reveal? Because there were theories that it was related to Celine, even though I don't believe that. I do not think that. I do not think that, but if we do, nor it's second nature at this point. Um I'm clocked in. I'm clocked in. I just don't think that. Not in the story. Yeah, I don't either, but I don't know. I'm locked in. Okay. She suddenly realized Celine didn't know what had happened after their last late night conversation. You remember that night we talked? Rumi's voice dipped carefully, almost fragile. Celine gave a slight nod, knife still resting in her hand. Rumi exhaled slowly, rubbing at her temple. Well, after that, Mira and Zoe found me, and then Mira got stabbed. The knife clattered lightly onto the cutting board as Celine froze, head snapping toward her. Her brows furrowed deep, sharp lines cutting across her forehead. What? Rumi swallowed and nodded, words spilling soft and heavy. Yeah, some random guy started following us. He asked if we had money, but we said no and kept walking. Then he just she winced, stabbed her, and ran. The silence that followed seemed to press on Rumi's chest, heavier than the memory itself. She healed, Rumi added quickly, her voice small. She's better now, but it left her with PTSD. Knives trigger her. She swallowed, her fingers tangling tighter. Cooking used to be her way of coping with stress. It calmed her, grounded her. But now she can't even hold a knife without shaking. Her gaze dropped to the tiled floor. So I thought if I learned, maybe I could take that weight off her. Even just a little. Well, Mira needs to start baking. Mira needs to start baking. Her voice cracked at the end, words thinning to almost nothing. For a long moment, Celine said nothing. The only sound was the faint hiss of the stove warming behind her. Finally, she set the knife down gently, turning fully toward Rumi. Show me your hands, she said evenly. Rumi blinked, startled. My hands? Hmm. Celine hummed, waiting. Rumi hesitated before holding them out. They trembled faintly, whether from nerves or memory. She wasn't sure. Celine took one carefully, her grip firm but not rough, turning it over as though checking its steadiness. After a pause, she let go. We'll start small. Controlled cuts. Onions, scallions, nothing tricky. You'll learn, and you won't be doing it alone. Rumi blinked up at her, lips parting. You'll really teach me? Celine nodded once, a calm certainty in her eyes. Yes. The words carried weight, more than just agreement, and Rumi felt it settle deep into her chest. Celine slid the cutting board closer. All right. Grip the knife firmly. Don't pinch it with your fingers. Wrap your hand around the handle. She demonstrated, her movements slow and precise. And curl your other hand like this. The blade rests against your knuckles so you guide it without risk. Rumi leaned closer, mimicking her breath hitching as she brought the knife down. Her first slice was jagged, uneven. She winced. Not bad, Celine murmured, reaching over to adjust her wrist. Let the blade do the work. Don't force it. She guided Rumi's hand through the next cut, her touch steady but gentle, before pulling back to watch. Rumi tried again. This time the onion gave way in a clean slice. Her lips parted in surprise. That's it, Celine said, a faint note of pride in her tone. Keep the rhythm. Rock the knife, don't just slam it down. They worked together in the quiet, only the steady tap of the knife against the board and the faint simmer of broth on the stove filling the space. Celine corrected her grip once or twice, offered small nods of approval when Rumi finally got it right. By the time the onions were diced, Rumi's chest felt strangely light, like she'd actually done something right. While you're still here, I'll teach you a few more recipes, Celine said finally, nodding toward the pan. Go on, add them in. Rumi blinked and nodded back. She scooped the onions carefully into the pan, watching them hiss and soften into the oil. She stirred slowly, conscious of every move. When she glanced back, Celine was leaning against the counter, arms crossed, studying her with that unreadable expression again. Only this time, there was something gentler beneath it. It's admirable, Celine said, her voice low. What you're doing? Learning this for her? Rumi stilled, the words hitting her chest harder than she expected. She glanced back, only to find Celine's expression softened in a way that almost made her look like someone else, less the stern aunt she remembered. She looked down quickly, pretending to focus on stirring. I'm glad, Celine continued after a moment, her voice dipping low. Glad that after everything, all the horrible things that happened to you, you didn't turn out like me. A humorless chuckle slipped past her lips as she raked a hand through her hair. Didn't take it out on anyone. Didn't turn into a bitter, angry person. Her jaw tightened before she let out a small breath. Whoa! Throat feel weird. Throat feel weird. Already love drink and breathe. I am. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Her jaw tightened before she let out a small breath, shaking her head with a faint smile that looked almost foreign on her face. I don't give Mi Young enough credit for how she raised you, because somehow you turned out better than all of us. She hesitated, eyes fixed on her with quiet weight. You're really something else. Rumi froze, knife hovering above the board. Something hot bloomed in her chest, startling and overwhelming all at once. Her throat felt too tight, and for a second, all she could do was blink at Celine. Rumi's throat tightened. She set the spoon down, fingers twisting together. Thank you, she whispered finally, though the words felt small compared to the ache in her chest. For a moment, neither of them moved. The silence pressed in, not uncomfortable, but thick with things unsaid. Then Celine exhaled, running a hand over her face before smirking faintly. Don't let it go don't let it go to your head. Your knife skills are still terrible. Rumi startled out a laugh, half choked, half relieved. She shook her head. Guess you'll just have to keep teaching me then. Guess I will, Celine muttered, but her eyes softened again. Only after that moment passed did she shift, her tone quieter, more deliberate. You know, I do have contacts, private investigators. Hey, let's go! They could find the man who stabbed her, if you wanted. The words hit like a drop of ice water. Rumi stiffened, the spoon clattering against the pan. You, you could do that? Celine's gaze didn't waver. It's the least I could do for you. Rumi swallowed, her pulse uneven. Part of her wanted to say yes immediately, to let that fire burn and get justice for Mira. Where is the just? But another part of her, the softer, protective part, hesitated. I'd like that, she admitted slowly. But I should ask Mira first. I don't want to do anything without her. Celine nodded once, no judgment in her tone. Of course. Rumi exhaled shakily, relief loosening her shoulders. For once, Celine wasn't judging her, wasn't cutting her down. She was listening, respecting her choice. And that, Rumi realized, biting back the sudden prick of tears, that meant more than she could put into words. Give him the Judas cradle, the claw, the Iron Maiden. Even in AU, Celine has all the content. No, literally, CEO Celine is back, baby. Even in Two's company. I'm getting more snacky. EP. I'm gonna have to make actual food after this. I'll have some salad. You know what? Why are you saying? I gotcha. Oh my god. The YouTube comments are really cute. Rumi is gonna show back up like Gordon Ramsay. Wait, guys, I just realized streamer Zoe wouldn't play games on live. She'd read Polytrix. Yeah. Period. Period. She's just like me. Guys, I love streamer Zoe in every universe because she's just like or like this. Do you wanna take your pictures? I'll also do this. Does that mean Artie is our Zoe? Yeah. Yay, thank you, Red. Thank you, Red. I feel like Zoe, streamer Zoe, a lot. I just need two sugar mommies. Where's my sugar mommies? Where? Girl, where are my hot, sexy sugar mommies? That who are also toxic exes. We're not doing that right now. We're not doing that. Anyways, I love streamers Zoe is what I meant. Two's company time. Okay. Rumi slipped out of the kitchen, the faint sound of oil sizzling behind her, and leaned against the hallway wall as she unlocked her phone. Her thumb hovered over Mira's contact picture for a moment. Her chest tightened, and before she could second guess herself, she hit call. One ring. Click. You called? Mira's voice spilled through the speaker, low and warm. And just like that, Rumi felt her heart loosen a fraction. No matter how many times she heard it, that voice always melted something inside her. She cleared her throat quickly. Yeah. Hey, what are you doing right now? Just watching TV with Nimbus. Why? Mira's tone was casual, but Rumi could hear the faint purr of the kitten somewhere in the background. Rumi chuckled under her breath, the mental picture forming easily. Mira curled up on the couch. Her tiny cat loafed across her chest like a smug little prince. What? Mira asked, the faintest curve of amusement in her voice. Nothing, Rumi repeated, shaking her head. Her chest squeezed. It was ridiculous how just a 30-second phone call could make her feel lighter. They're so soft. They're so soft. Still, she sobered after a beat, pressing her free hand against the wall. Anyway, I called because I told Celine about what happened, about you, and she said she has some friends, investigators maybe, who could help find the guy who stabbed you. Silence. The line was so still that panic prickled along Rumi's spine. She pulled the phone back from her ear to check the screen. Still connected. She was about to say Mira's name when, please. It was barely a whisper, cracked at the edges, but it hit Rumi harder than any shout could. Her heart clenched so tight it hurt. Rumi pressed the phone back close, her voice breaking gentle. We'll find the guy who did that to you, Mira. Okay? I promise. There was a tiny sniff on the other end. Rumi squeezed her eyes shut, wishing, aching, that she could just teleport across the city, curl into Mira's side, and shield her from every ugly thing in the world. Okay, Mira breathed. Rumi exhaled shakily, nodding even though Mira couldn't see. Good. I'll call you later, all right? A soft hum answered. Then, begrudgingly, tell Celine I said thank you. If they actually do, you know. That pulled a small laugh from Rumi despite the heaviness in her chest. I'll tell her. Mira was quiet for a second longer before her voice sharpened, protective in a way that made Rumi's heart flutter. She hasn't been mean to you, right? Rumi's smile softened. No, she hasn't. Good. Mira's tone eased again, low and certain. I love you. The words washed over Rumi like sunlight through a window, familiar, grounding, utterly hers. Her lips curved wider as she ducked her head, cheeks warming even though she was alone in the hallway. I love you too. Bye. All right, bye. The call clicked off, leaving the faint buzz of silence in her ear. For a moment, Rumi just stood there, phone eyes closed. She breathed her in, Mira's voice still lingering, soft as velvet in her mind, and let it steady her. Only when her heartbeat calmed did she finally tuck the phone back into her pocket and step quietly into the kitchen. The smell of simmering broth drifted out to meet her, and there was Celine at the stove, stirring with practiced ease. She said okay. Rumi muttered once. She'd Rumi muttered once. Rumi muttered once she tucked her phone away. Brain. Sorry. TikTok is oh my god. TikTok, I hate you. It's making me do the May I suggest a goat licking method? What are you guys saying? I love looking at my chat after like reading for a while and be like, what are you guys saying? Okay. Rumi muttered once she tucked her phone in. Nor. To me! Point to me! Death forms for Mira's attacker. You guys are so funny. You guys are so funny. Celine turned from the stove, brow lifting. All right, send me her number so I can pass it on. They'll probably want to speak with her directly. Are you guys hearing the noise from outside? There's music playing. Is it almost over? No, we have like around half of it left. I hope it's not too distracting. I live in Washington Heights, guys. There is music every night. There's our neighbors are blasting music all the time. Yeah. How many words in this chapter? 19,000. 19,000, baby. So we're going to keep going. That's better than Scotland, LMAO. Okay. Oh my god. Little burps. I'm sorry, y'all. Celine turned from the stove, brow lifting. Send me the number so I can pass it on. They'll probably want to speak with her directly. That's where we left off. Rumi nodded, quickly typing Mira's number and sending it off before setting her phone down on the counter. The food is done, Celine hummed, pulling out two wide, shallow bowls from the cupboard. She spooned out the gachijorim with practiced motions, steam rising as the sauce glistened under the light. She added a careful garnish, almost like muscle memory, then slid one bowl towards. They carried the plates over to the dining table and sat across from each other. The room felt strangely quiet, no clattering, no music, just the faint bubbling of the sauce cooling down in the pan behind them. Rumi picked up her chopsticks, waiting until Celine did the same before tasting it. The clink of dishes and the faint hiss of the cooling pan. Rumi chewed slowly, her shoulders stiff, exactly uncomfortable, but it was far from easy. It's 21K. Then Toss was lying because Toss said 19K. Okay. She chewed slowly, blinking at the familiar savoriness that spread. This is good, she spoke up after a while, voice soft but earnest. She gave a faint smile, almost shy at the praise. Celine glanced up at her, throat shifting as she swallowed. I agree, she murmured, and for a moment that was all. The silence stretched, not uncomfortable exactly, but heavy, like neither of them was sure what to do with it. Rumi found herself focusing too hard on her bowl, on the careful clink of her chopsticks, as if the quiet between them might shatter if she breathed too loud. They fell into silence again, the soft clink of sticks the only sound between them. Then Celine set hers down deliberately, fingertips steepled against each other. Her posture stayed straight, but there was a tension in her shoulders, like she was holding something in place. Her mouth finally opened, then shut again. Goddamn motorcycles. She drew in a slow breath through her nose, eyes flicking briefly toward Rumi before dropping back to the table. Finally, she spoke. So, her voice caught. Tell me more about your girlfriends. Rumi nearly choked, coughing into her hand. Huh? What I mean is, when I saw them, it was clear they mattered to you. More than matter. She paused, her words measured, but oddly careful. And if I'm ever going to. She paused, her jaw flexed, the next words dragging out quieter. Be in your life in any way that matters. I feel like I should at least try to understand who they are, even if I don't deserve the answer. The admission lingered between them, heavy, raw. Guys, I love this so much. I love this so much. I've been waiting for this. You guys don't get it. Oh my god. Celine cleared her throat again, forcing herself onward. That's what family's supposed to do, isn't it? Ask about that sort of thing. Make sure the people you're with are good for you. The way she said it was stiff, like she was trying on a language that didn't belong to her. Rumi just stared, stunned into silence. Stunned into silence. A part of her wanted to laugh at the absurdity. Her aunt, who used to tear her down at every chance, now fumbling through a parent like question, like she was reading lines she hadn't rehearsed. Another part of her wanted to cry because even if it was awkward, even if it was late, Celine was trying. She blinked hard and fiddled with her chopsticks, her stomach twisting from both the fish and the moment itself. Uh, they're good, she said quickly, too quickly. Her gaze stayed fixed on her bowl. Heat crept up her neck. Like, really good. All of you are together, right? Celine continued, brows knitting faintly. Or is it that they're dating you or something? She trailed off, visibly trying to make sense of it. Celine learns about polyamory. This is incredible. Rumi shook her head. Her heart sped up, not from shame, but from the sheer vulnerability of explaining it out loud. We're all together. Well, they were already dating, and when I came along, they both started to like me, and I. She trailed off, a faint heat rising to her cheeks. Eventually, I liked them back. Celine gave a slow nod, letting the words settle without judgment. Rumi risked a glance up at her. Then Zoe's, she's the kind of person who lights up a room, even when she's being loud and ridiculous. She makes everything feel lighter, even when she's hurting. And Mira, Rumi's lips twitched, warmth tugging unbidden at her mouth. She pretends she's scary, but she's just so gentle with me, with both of us, really. Like she's always paying attention even when no one notices. She'll do these small things that make you realize she's been caring the whole time. Her chest tightened as she spoke, memories flashing through her, their late night laughter, Zoe braiding her hair with steady hands, Mira making her tea just to see her smile. They they both make me feel like I belong, like I don't have to be scared that I'll mess everything up because somehow they'll still choose me anyway. She didn't realize how much she'd been talking until finally paused, catching sight of Celine across the table. The old lady, chopsticks set down, listening, faint smile tugging at her mouth. Hashtag ally. Rumi flushed, ducking her head and fumbling with the food. Sorry, I was rambling. Celine shook her head. You're fine. Quite smitten, you are. Her voice was low, almost amused, but not unkind. Rumi's head dipped even lower as her cheeks heated further. You could say that, I guess, she mumbled, unable to keep the small, helpless smile from spreading across her face. After they finished eating, Rumi trailed after Celine into the kitchen. The cleanup was wordless, Rumi rinsing the dishes while Celine dried them with practiced, efficient movements. They worked in a rhythm that felt almost domestic, even though neither of them said it. The clink of porcelain and the low rush of the faucet filled the silence, broken only by the occasional brush of an elbow or the passing of a plate. When the last bowl was put away, Celine folded the dish towel and set it on the counter. She dried her hands with slow precision, then glanced over at Rumi. I can set up the guest room for you if you'd like. Her voice was quiet, not commanding, more like a tentative offer than anything. Rumi nodded, clutching the edge of the counter. I'd like that. All right then, you can shower in the meantime. Celine crossed the room, opened the linen closet, and pulled out a neatly folded towel and washcloth. She handed them over with that same reserved air, polite, almost careful. Thanks, Rumi murmured, holding them against her chest before slipping away toward the bathroom. Her bag was right where she left it. She carried it inside, set it down, and then froze for half a second. The air in here felt heavier, familiar in a way that made her stomach flip. This was the same bathroom where she'd cut herself for the first time. She could almost see it, the trembling hands, the sting, the overwhelming need to feel something else. A shiver rolled down her spine. She set the towel on the toilet lid and forced herself to breathe, shoving the thoughts aside shoving the thought aside before it could settle too deep. She turned on the shower, steam beginning to rise, and tugged at the hem of her shirt. Her phone buzzed against the sink. She picked it up, thumb hovering as she read the notification. Jeans new. Jeans new, aka Genu. Ghost emoji. 8:35 p.m. Hey, what's Genu's voice again? Genu has a low voice, like, uh, hey, you alright? I'm trying to distinguish low voices from Mira's. Hey, you alright? Rumi smiled faintly, typing quickly. Rumi, 8:35 p.m. I'm good. Another buzz. Jeans new, 8:36 p.m. How is it so far? She isn't being the ice queen again, is she? Rumi let out a soft snort, shoulders loosening. The memory of Ginu teasing in high school came back to her. How he'd call Celine Ice Queen or the Wicked Witch of the West when Rumi ranted about her. Uh, we can play Wicked after this. Rumi, 8:37 p.m. No, not at all. It's kind of weird seeing her act nice, but it's better than her poisoning me or something. Jeans new, 8:38 p.m. LMAO, don't even joke like that. Glad to hear it though. You sound lighter than I expected. That's good. Rumi, 8:39 p.m. How can I sound lighter over text, Genu? Rolling eyes emoji. Jeans new, 8:40 p.m. Not the point. Rumi, 8:40 p.m. Right, right. Still, feels strange though. Like she's trying, but I don't know what to do with that. Jeans new, 8:41 p.m. Then don't do anything yet. Just breathe. One day at a time, Rumi. Her chest eased a little. She chuckled under her breath, shaking her head. Rumi, 8:42 p.m. Yeah, okay. I should shower though before she thinks I drowned in here. Jeans new, 8:43 p.m. Go, stink bug. Text me tomorrow. She smiled as she set the phone down, the warmth of his teasing grounding her. She pulled her shirt over her head, finished undressing, and stepped into the shower. The heat hit her in the heat hit her instantly, loosening the knot in her shoulders. A sigh slipped past her lips as the water streamed over her, washing the day away. By the time she finished, she felt wrung out, but cleaner, inside and out. She towel dried, rifled through her bag for a soft pair of shorts and an old t shirt, and slipped them on. When she stepped out, she nearly collided with Celine in the hall. Celine closed the guest room door behind her, her expression unreadable, but her tone even. It's ready. Rumi shifted her towel in her arms and nodded. Thank you. Celine hummed lightly, already turning toward her own room. I'll see you tomorrow then. Good night, Rumi. Rumi managed a small smile. Good night. She ducked into the guest room and shut the door softly behind her. The space was neat, impersonal, the kind of room meant for visitors who didn't stay long. For a moment, though, it reminded her of the old Rumi next door room, the one she'd once tiptoed past with her heart in her throat. She wondered why she hadn't been put there instead. Maybe Celine thought it would be too much. Maybe she was right. Shrugging off the thought, Rumi let her bag fall by the side of the bed and flopped down onto the mattress with a sigh. The sheets smelled like fresh detergent, sharp and clean. Her eyes slipped shut before she could overthink it. She pulled the cover over herself, body sinking into the mattress, and her eyes fluttered shut. Sleep was just about to take her when her phone buzzed against the nightstand. Rumi groaned softly, reaching for it without lifting her head. The screen lit up with a notification. Incoming call, thruple trouble. Her lips tugged into a small, tired smile. She swiped to answer, tucking herself back under the blankets as the split screen lit up with two familiar faces. Hey, she muttered sleepily, her voice low, almost drowsy. The sight on her screen softened her instantly. Mira was curled on her side with a silk sleeping mask that read, "Shh, Mummy's charging." A gift from Zoe and that Mira had once pretended to hate, but clearly used religiously. Meanwhile, Zoe was sprawled against a massive alligator plushie, hair spilling in short waves across her face, one cheek squished into the toy. "Rumi!" Zoe whined, pointing an accusatory finger at the camera. "Don't tell me you're about to sleep without our sacred nightly call time." Rumi chuckled, adjusting the phone so it rested against her pillow. "Sorry." From Mira's side of the screen, faint pattering noises filtered through. Rumi frowned. "Mira, is it raining where you are?" She glanced at her own window. Clear skies. Mira stirred, pushing her mask halfway up to peer at her. Her voice was groggy, pitched low. "It's not raining, just rain sounds. Helps me sleep." "Oh," Rumi let out a hum. Zoe snorted suddenly, eyes sparkling with mischief. Did you guys know that rain? Did you guys know those rain sounds aren't actually rain? It's just chicken frying." Rumi blinked. "What?" Mira ripped her mask the rest of the way up, staring at the screen like Zoe had just kicked her cat. "You're lying." Zoe hugged her alligator tighter, smirking. "Nope, chicken frying, forever and always." A groan ripped out of Mira as she flopped back dramatically, tugging the mask down over her eyes again. "You've ruined it. I'll never be able to listen the same way again." Rumi covered her mouth, trying not to laugh. "That's actually crazy." "It's still relaxing, though." "Fried chicken lullabies," Zoe insisted, though her voice was growing slower, lazier. She yawned and let her eyes slip shut, cheeks pillowed against the plush. "Okay, now I'm tired. Now I'm tired." "About time," Mira huffed from behind her mask, but Rumi caught the small upward curl of her mouth. Rumi shifted deeper under the covers, her body warming at the sound of both their voices. "Good night, guys." "Good night," Mira and Zoe murmured at the same time. The perfect echo made Rumi smile. Silence hovered for a beat, comfortable, lingering. Then Zoe cracked an eye open. "Hey, we forgot something." Mira sighed softly, already knowing. "I love you, Rumi and Zoe." Zoe peeked out from behind her plush, grinned sleepy, but stubborn. "I love you. I love you too, Rumi." Her chest fluttered. She swallowed, smiling softly. "I love you too." Rumi's throat went tight with something tender. She smiled so wide it made her cheeks ache. "I love you too, both of you." The call lingered open, even as their voices faded. Zoe's breathing growing even, Mira's little sighs filling the quiet. Rumi kept her phone by her pillow, eyes slipping shut to the rhythm of them. For the first time that night, she didn't feel like she was in Celine's house at all. She felt like she was home. This is the type of fluff we used to get in Tuscany. This is the type of fluff before everything went haywire. Not all the time, but frying is sometimes used to replicate rain sounds. Got like a moth to a flame. Perfect. Zin, you're funny. This chapter is actually just a rewrite of the entire story so far. Haven't been paying much attention, but I'm so glad to hear the fluff is back. The fluffiest fluff. Yeah. Derpy and Nimbus should meet. Y'all are cute. Um, I've been speaking for a while. This is the longest time I've gone on reading. Um, as y'all probably can guess. I'm gonna eat a little more apple. Mm. 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 Oh, the Rumi roleplay account replied to me being like, I could try to interact more though. If you want. Maybe if you want. Trinity, thank you. Um, Here's my thing about Overwatch. I've never played it. What is that line? Hello? I've never played it, but I've watched some of the little shorts, like the animated shorts that they put out when Overwatch was like new. The My favorite was the one with I forget her name, the French one, the French villain one. When I was a little girl, I had a fear of spiders. That one. I used to love that short so much. Widowmaker, that's her name. That's her name, Widowmaker. All my Twitter posts are just me talking about how diabolical I was. Don't dive into gameplay. That is Widowmaker. Yeah, I'm not really interested in playing it. There's like I'm not really much I'm not very much a gamer. There's only like a couple of games I played. I like it, but I'm not like a gamer girl. Um but well, I'm also like checking Twitter right now because I'm trying to like be chill. Widow Tracer. Hmm. Every all of my friends are at the Blink 182 concert, I think. He went both deep voice and Mickey voice for the gentleman's night. Making Monarch tomorrow? What is Jamie Arsenide doing ever? What is Jamie Arsenide doing? What does that mean? Thanks for liking the live, Tossie. Um Girl, I'm tired. I'm gonna keep going, but I'm tired. Ugh. I just saw Sal's tweet. I hate you, die. I love that toss. I love that you're just getting into fake beef with everyone. It's a pleasure to watch. It's so fun. This is my entertainment. Don't push yourself too hard. It's okay. Cursing us with concussions. Does anyone ever understand Jamie's line? They're starting it with me. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Um, it is funny though. I just want to say it's really funny. Oh, I'm looking at unrelated. I'm also like starting to get sleepy because I've been sleeping like 6 hours per day the past few days because my body won't stop waking up early. It won't stop waking up early. Game. What was I nowhere? I remember take care of yourself, though. We need you to be okay. You're good. You're literally good. Um, I hope I sleep more tonight. It's just jet lag, y'all. It's just jet lag. Yeah, I'm a little silent right now. Teehee. This is what I'm like if you're like out with me, like hanging out with me. I'm like, I will talk a lot and then I'll just be like, because I'm very much an introvert, I'm like, I will spend so much energy trying to talk to people. And then after that energy is put out, I'll be like, zombie mode. I will say it is very helpful to be doing these for like future audiobook recording purposes, putting that out there. Um, because it gets me so used to hearing my own voice without hearing anyone else. Uh, Even though it is kind of driving me crazy sometimes, like when I'm reading for a long time, it does kind of drive me crazy, but it's also good practice. Sending good sleep patterns. Thank you. It's currently 2:33 a.m. Oh, my Scotland peeps. I absolutely hate talking to people. I enjoy listening to music with company there. Real. When your sleeping patterns start to show, it makes the it makes the EP wanna grow out of my brain. That's so cute. It do be late, UK here, but 100% worth it. Oh my god. I still haven't decided on a proper stream time because I wanna like if I do it too late, then for example, I think like the Philippines people, the Philippines, Australia people can join if I do it like super, super late at like evening time. They can do like they can join, it'll be morning for them, but then the Europe area, like the middle area gets 11. It's so hard. It's so hard to be world famous. I'm just kidding. It's just hard to like balance everyone, balance all the countries. Philippines is 7 hours ahead of you. Wait, yeah, that's true. Just do it when you can. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm going at it right now. I don't have like a proper stream plan or anything. I'm just going at it. Okay. I we still have a long way to go. Scroll to the end to see to get a sense of how much. Okay. Okay. I just saw the notes. The notes are hi, 2/3 completed. Now we have Mira left, and then we can get to the fluff. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oh shit, we're getting to the sad parts. Rumi let out a small breath as the wind pressed cool against her face, carrying the faint scent of grass and damp stone. Her fingers tightened around the bouquet in her hands, knuckles pale from the grip. Beside her, Celine stood with another bundle of flowers. Okay, we're killing our. Celine stood with another bundle of flowers, her hair shifting lightly in the breeze. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Rumi lowered her gaze to the headstone in front of her. Myung Ryu. Oh my, Myung Ryu. The name etched in stone still made her chest ache. I haven't been here in a while. Celine's voice came quiet, almost like she was afraid to disturb the air around them. Me neither. Not for years. I felt too guilty after everything I did. Didn't think she'd want to see me. Probably still doesn't. Rumi swallowed, looking down at her bouquet. Pale lavender, bright daisies, and a few soft pink carnations she thought her mother might have liked. She hadn't visited since moving in with Mira and Zoe. When she was younger, though, she'd sometimes stop by after school, sit cross legged in the grass, and ramble about her day as if her mother was listening. She glanced towards Celine. Can I go first? Celine only nodded and stepped back. Rumi walked a few paces forward, then lowered herself to the ground in front of the grave. She unwrapped the bouquet and carefully placed the flowers into the waiting vase, fingers lingering a little too long on the lavender stems. A weak smile pulled at her lips. Hi, Uma. The word cracked something inside her. She shifted, pulling her knees up loosely against her chest as she tried to settle the nerves in her stomach. Sorry I didn't come sooner. These past few months have been a lot. Her laugh was thin, almost embarrassed. She straightened the bouquet in the vase, brushing some stray petals from her palms. I brought new flowers, lavender, your favorite, and some daisies and carnations too. Thought they'd brighten the spot up a little. The wind stirred again, making her tuck her chin into her knees. I'm doing better now. Better than before, at least. She let out a soft hum. Me and Celine were working on things, or trying to. I don't even know what to call it yet. Her hand came up, scratching nervously at her cheek. I know if you've been watching all these years, you probably weren't too happy with me or Celine. And yeah, it got messy, really messy. She exhaled, long and shaky. But I'm okay now. I promise I'm okay. Her teeth caught her bottom lip, and her vision blurred as her eyes stung. I I have two people I love more than anything. Mira and Zoe, my girlfriends. Her voice cracked on the word, but she pressed on. You would have loved them. They're everything. They take care of me in ways I didn't think I deserved. A laugh bubbled through her tears, soft and watery. And Chinu, too. He's around a lot. Kind of like having an annoying older brother, honestly. Silence stretched. Rumi let it, staring down at her lap before forcing herself to meet the stone again. I love you. I miss you. Every single day, I wish you were here with me right now. I think you'd be proud of me, or at least I hope you would. Her hand drifted toward the headstone, fingertips brushing the cool carved letters. You always told me I was stronger than I believed. You were right, I guess. But it's hard. It's still hard without you. Her throat tightened, tears slipping free as she pressed her forehead briefly against her knees. I'll keep coming back. I won't disappear on you again. Rumi drew in a steadying breath and whispered, softer than the breeze itself, I love you, Oma, more than words. She closed her eyes for a second, curling tighter into herself, letting the ache swell and then settle, wave after wave. The grass whispered in the wind around her, the stone cold and steady before her, and she let it hold everything she couldn't. When a strange heaviness pressed down on her shoulders, like a weight she couldn't see, Rumi only smiled through the blur of tears. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it wasn't. By the time she stood, she had wiped her eyes with the back of her sleeve, steadying her breath. She turned back toward Celine. I'm done. Celine gave a small nod and moved forward, crouching down in front of the headstone. She set her own bouquet into the vase, her movements careful, reverent. From where Rumi stood, she could only make out the faintest shapes of Celine's lips moving, too quiet to hear, but clear enough to see that words were spilling out of her. Rumi looked away, closing her eyes. It felt like something she wasn't supposed to witness, like opening a door she wasn't meant to step through. After a while, she heard the sound of fabric brushing the rose, the faint pat of her palms dusting dirt off her coat. Her eyes looked brighter. Do you want something to eat? She asked, her voice carefully even. Rumi gave a half smile and nodded. Yeah, I'd like that. Line break. Rest time. Toss lots of sauce. Whoa, notice by God. Oh my god. Guys, is the thruple back on? Oh my god. I'm so tired. Little apple. Reef riding, welcome back. Also, did your train arrive? Okay, live. Okay. This is a half mukbang now. Red, oh, I'm still on the train. Don't worry about it. Isn't Reef working right now? Reef works on the train. Uh-huh. Not in a week. Not in like a week. A week. The 20th. Reef is coming back to Florida in a week, and then we can read Art of Spoiling Pretty Girls together. Not in a week. You said 20th. Was it 21st? Also, you can hear me now. Wasn't it 20th? Did I make that up? Also, I have bad memory, so I might just be making that up. Something with the around the 20th, you said. 21st. Bitch, that's one day. That's a week. Don't piss me off. That's a fucking week. Don't piss me off. Huh? What do you mean? I said 1 week. Even if it's not exactly 1 week. Reef, I swear to God. Reef, I swear to God. Why am I killing you all that? All love. It's a week for the UK because we're on the 14th. What? I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? How did you mean it, girl? That's the definition of reef. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, what did you say? I don't know, Artie. Tone through writing is hard. It's okay. It's okay. The parents are fighting again. No. Technically 1 week, 2 hours and 14 minutes, but yeah, close enough. Thanks, Trinity. Watching the Demon Slayer stage play while watching this live. Period. Oh yeah. Let's keep going. Oh, they're having a little they're having food together. I have a math heavy career ahead. I'm sorry. What is your career? I'm gonna keep going. Finish cashing out my guests, so I have a moment. I see. Aerospace engineering. Oh, you were the one who's doing aerospace engineering. That's wild as hell. Wild as hell. That's crazy. That's cool as shit. Cool as shit. Like, oh my God, there's actually smart people here. Holy shit, too much. Oh damn, I'm a dumbass. No. What do you mean? You're doing aerospace engineering. That sounds like smart people shit to me. Anyways. Whoa, wait, what is that supposed to mean? Artie, I'm smart. Leave it to Reef. Leave it to Reef for like being offended by everything I say. Artie just likes being mean to me. That is untrue. That is untrue. I'm over here making pretty colors at Trinity being all smart and pretty. Girl, I'm calling myself dumb. Bro, if I was smart, you think I would be a broke artist right now? No, I'm joking. I am the autism. I'm offended by the offensive. What do you mean? Okay, we gotta keep going. Gotta keep going or we'll never finish this. Oh my god. The nose is nosing. Artism. Let's go artism. I'm trying to hook you up with the gig, Artie. I'm trying to get you your bag. Cut it off. Okay. Toss. Sorry. Okay. They ended up at a hot pot place. Everyone shut up. They ended up at a hot pot place tucked on the corner of a busy street. Inside, the faint hum of conversation mingled with the clatter of chopsticks and the bubbling hiss of broth. The air was heavy with spice and warmth, steam curling up in thin ribbons from the pots. Rumi sat across from Celine, her cheeks already flushed from the heat of the burner. She'd gone with a spicy kimchi broth, good choice. The kind that left your lips tingling, good choice. Celine had chosen a clear beef bone broth, mild but rich. Between them sat plates piled high, thinly sliced wagyu, shrimp, pork belly, enoki mushrooms, tofu, kimchi, glass noodles, even a tray of dumplings. She'd also ordered a chilled bottle of apple soju. Zoe had convinced her to try it once, and it had stuck. Celine had chosen a golden hued how do you read that? Makori? Makori, pouring it into her cup with steady hands. The broth began to roll and bubble. Rumi plucked up a slice of beef, wrapping it carefully around her chopstick before dipping it. She smiled faintly at the memory of Zoe leaning over her shoulder once, whispering that she should hum the first verse of a song before pulling it so it cooked just right. She caught herself humming under her breath without meaning to. I love doing hot pots or K barbecue. I love doing both. Celine lifted her cup, sipping quietly before setting it down with a soft sigh. Her eyes stayed fixed on the steam rising between them. Do you She hesitated, her voice lower, more uncertain than usual. Do you still want to know about him? Rumi's chopsticks froze halfway to her bowl. I'm locked in. She lifted her gaze, blinking. My father? Celine gave one sharp nod, her expression unreadable. Yes. The air seemed to thicken, the warmth of the steam brushing against Rumi's face. She swallowed and nodded slowly. If that's okay. Celine straightened a little, reaching for a piece of kimchi. She chewed slowly, set her chopsticks down with a faint clink, and exhaled through her nose as if bracing herself. Where do I begin? She muttered under her breath, almost as though asking herself. Her eyes flickered briefly toward Rumi before settling back on the bubbling broth. I knew your father at university, she said at last, her tone measured, the same way I knew Mi Young. She reached for her glass, took a slow sip of wine. He was always around, following her, orbiting her. At first, it was almost laughable. He was desperate for her attention, bending himself into knots just to get her to look his way. She gave a soft, humorless snort. Pathetic, really. To this day, I don't understand what she ever saw in him. We love Petty Celine. Her voice faltered as she realized how sharp it sounded. Celine cleared her throat, smoothing over the edge, and looked back at her plate. Anyway, eventually she did notice him. And once she did, well, they fit, at least on paper. They laughed together, their ambitions lined up. For a while, I thought maybe it wasn't so bad. She slid a few enoki mushrooms into the broth, letting them sink beneath the rolling boil. Across the table, Rumi took a sip of her soju, the sweet, crisp taste doing little to settle the weight pressing into her chest. Time passed, and Celine hesitated, her jaw tight. You know how reckless college students can be. One thing after another, and then you came along. Oh shit. Great. And that's why you use protection. That's why you use protection. Oh, damn. Her words hung between them like steam. She muttered, softer, almost to herself. I was the first to know. Rumi's fingers tightened around her glass. Do you know what happened? Celine's eyes, oh no. Celine's eyes lifted, heavy with memory. She nodded once. I was there. Your father wasn't always absent, Rumi. When Mi Young told him she was keeping you, he wanted to stay. He cared for her. But his family, wealthy, old fashioned people, gave him an ultimatum. If he stayed with her, with you, they'd cut him off completely. Rumi blinked, the broth bubbling between them suddenly feeling too loud. He was afraid. He was young, afraid, and instead of fighting for her, he let that fear win. He walked away. Celine's mouth pressed into a thin line. Mi-young never forgave him for it. She wanted someone who would choose her without hesitation. Rumi's chest ached. She'd expected indifference, maybe selfishness, but to know she was abandoned because someone else decided she wasn't worth it, because he didn't fight for her, stung sharper than she imagined. So he just left? She whispered. Celine nodded. We have a line break before the flashback. Hi, Zoe's wife. Toss is going to kill Artie's voice. Toss is going to kill me if I linger too long. Oh, I'm tired, but I'm going to keep going. I don't want to stop too much. Chat, what are we reading? We're reading Two's Company. We're reading the OG. Chapter 34. Chapter 34, Two's Company. Celine remembered the exact moment everything fractured. She'd been sitting on the edge of Mi-young's dorm bed, textbooks open but forgotten, when Ji-hoon came out of the bathroom. His face was pale, almost gray, and his hands trembled faintly as he shoved his phone into his pocket. Mi-young looked up immediately. Something wrong? Ji-hoon didn't answer right away. He lowered himself into the chair across from them, elbows braced against his knees like the weight of the world had been dropped onto his back. I told my parents, he muttered finally, voice frayed, about her. His gaze flicked to Mi-young's belly, the swell of 18 weeks. Celine felt Mi-young's fingers tighten around her own. What did they say? I don't know if that was whatever. He swallowed hard, eyes fixed on the floor. They want me to choose. Mi-young blinked, the word catching in her throat. Choose? Choose what? The family or you? He let out a short, hollow laugh that wasn't really a laugh at all. They think we're too young, that I should be focusing on school, and when they found out it was a girl, that was the end of it. They want another son to inherit everything, not a daughter. That sounds about right. The silence was suffocating. Celine could hear the radiator humming in the corner, the faint voices of students in the hall, her own pulse hammering in her ears. Mi-young's hand squeezed hers so tight it almost hurt. Please tell me you told them off. Her voice shook, desperate. Ji-hoon, please. But he couldn't even look at her. His hands were clasped together so tightly, his knuckles had gone white. I'm sorry. Celine surged half out of herself, ready to unleash every curse she knew, but Mi-young raised a trembling hand to stop her. So she sat back down, jaw locked, fury burning behind her teeth. Mi-young's voice was barely a whisper. You chose them over me? She pressed her palm against her stomach, eyes shining with tears. Over us? Ji-hoon finally looked up, his own eyes wet, guilt written in every line of his face. What happened to you cutting ties with them? To getting away from all their expectations, all the pressure? Tears slipped down Myung's cheeks. You swore you'd never let them control you again. So why now? They made sense, he choked, raking his hands through his hair. We're still kids, young. We're not ready for this. If I walk away from them, I thing, my future, any way to provide for you, for her. We have so much ahead of us. Why ruin that now? We could try again later when we're ready. He reached toward her, desperate. We can always have another one, Egia. Something inside Myung cracked. She laughed, short and disbelieving, as she wiped at her tears. I was thinking of naming her Rumi, she whispered. Doesn't it sound pretty? Her other hand stroked her stomach, gentle and protective. I haven't even met her yet, but she already means everything to me. Jihoon's expression twisted. More than me? His hand pressed against his chest as if she'd driven a knife through him. Myung, think about this. We could have another. But what if I want this one? She shot back, her voice trembling with both rage and grief. The room went utterly silent. Celine had never forgotten the way Mi Young looked at him at that moment, like she was watching the person she loved unravel into a stranger. Jihoon stared at her like she had spoken a foreign language. His lips parted, then pressed shut again, his breath coming quicker, heavier. You don't understand, he said finally, voice trembling with something that was no longer guilt, but something darker. If I walk away, I lose everything. My parents, my home, my inheritance, everything they've promised me. And you think I can just throw that away for a mistake? Myung flinched. A mistake? His hand twitched like he wanted to take it back, but instead he pressed forward, eyes glassy, desperate. I didn't mean it like that, but Myung, think about it. Think logically. We're not ready. You're not ready. How will you raise her? In this dorm room? With what money? His gaze flicked towards Celine, sharp and dismissive. You think she can fix this for you? Oh, he did not. It's the thing about me and Celine. I will defend Celine against this asshole. Jesus Christ. Celine felt her stomach turn cold, but Myung lifted her chin, eyes burning through her tears. She's not the one who needs to fix anything, Jihoon. You are. But he only shook his head, running his hands through his hair over and over, pacing the small room like a caged animal. His movements were jagged, his voice rising and falling. I'm trying to save us. Don't you see? If you just listen to me, we could still have a life, a real life. I could give you everything. We'd be untouchable. But if you keep this baby, his voice cracked. If you keep her, you ruin everything. It was your fucking dick! It was your dick! I hate men. Okay, okay. Myung pressed her hand harder against her stomach, protective, instinctive. She's not ruining anything. She's giving me everything. Something in his face shifted then, like a door closing. The softness she had loved flickered, then hardened into something crueler. So that's it. His laugh was sharp, hollow. You choose her over me, a child who isn't even born yet. You're willing to throw me away for this fantasy? It's not a fantasy, Myung whispered. Her tears kept falling, but her voice didn't waver. It's my daughter. And if you can't understand that, Then maybe I never really knew you. Jihoon dragged a hand down his face, voice rising. You don't get it, Myung. My parents, if I go against them, I lose everything. Do you understand what that means? Myung's hand tightened on her stomach. Everything? You mean the money, the inheritance, the same people who've done nothing but tear you down since we met. Those are the ones you're choosing? His jaw clenched. They're still my family. They don't love you. The words ripped out of her, sharp and furious through the tears. They've never loved you, June. All they care about is what you can give them, what you can be for them. And now you're proving them right. You're letting them decide for you. He flinched but pushed forward, anger flaring. At least they're thinking about the future. You're being reckless, selfish. How can you drag a child into this when we have nothing figured out? We're kids ourselves. I'm selfish? Myung shot back, standing now, shoulders trembling. I'm the one who's willing to give everything up for her. You're the one running because you're scared, because it's easier to be your parents' puppet than it is to be a father. Jihoon's voice cracked into a near shout. You don't know what you're asking me to give up. You don't know what you're walking away from, she screamed back, tears spilling down her face. She's your daughter, June, and you're throwing her away like she means nothing. Celine, heart hammering, stood quickly. Enough! Both of you! You're tearing each other apart. Please stop! She looked between them, desperate, but neither seemed to hear her. Jihoon raked his fingers through his hair, eyes shining. We could have everything. Me, you, a family later. Why ruin our lives now? Why ruin us? Myung's lip quivered, but her gaze didn't waver. Because this is us, June. She's us. And if you can't see that, her voice broke, then maybe I never really mattered to you. Silence, thick, shattering. His voice cracked, his chest heaving. We're not ready, Myung. We're not even 20. How can we raise a kid when we barely know how to take care of ourselves? That is right. I'm sorry. That was your dick. Sorry. Anyway, Myung stood, tears streaking her face. We'd figure it out. That's what people do when they love each other. They fight for it. They fight for family. Your actual one. His fists curled tight at his sides. I am fighting for us. For a future where we're not struggling every damn day. For a life where I can actually give you something instead of watching everything fall apart. Her voice went sharp, cutting. Then why does it feel like you're fighting against me? That landed. He flinched, eyes glassy, jaw trembling. And then, desperate, he stepped forward, pressing a shaking hand against her stomach. She's not even here yet, Myung. You're choosing a stranger over me. Myung shoved his hand away, horrified. She is not a stranger. She's my daughter, our daughter, and I love her more than anything already. June's face crumbled like the words gutted him. His voice rose, strained and ugly. So that's it? I'm just disposable now? After everything? You'll throw me away, but keep her? She didn't ask to be here, June. Myung sobbed. She didn't betray me. You did. You chose a family that doesn't even love you over the one person who ever did. Don't you dare, he choked, but the words broke apart, fury and grief colliding in his throat. Jihoon's breath came uneven, his face twisted with something between pain and fury. You'll regret this, he said at last, voice low, almost a growl. You'll regret choosing her over me. Myung wiped her cheeks roughly, lifting her chin. No, I'll regret ever believing you loved me enough to stay. Silence crashed down, thick and brutal. June stared at her for a long, shuddering moment. as though searching for something to hold on to. Then, without a word, he turned and stormed out, the door slamming so hard the walls rattled. Mi Young sat down. Oh shit. Oh, oh my god. I'm getting nauseous, y'all. Sorry. Mi Young sat down onto the bed, cradling her stomach and trembling hands. She whispered, Rumi, like it was the only anchor she had left in the world. Celine watched her blink several times, as if seeing it all for the first time. The loss of the person she had believed to be her everything. Her body trembled, and a choked sob ripped through her chest. Without hesitation, Celine pulled her close, wrapping her arms around Mi Young as she clung to her, shaking with the force of her grief. The sound of her sobs echoed softly through the quiet dorm, raw and unrestrained. Celine sank to the floor beside her, letting herself be present in the moment, unable to hold back her own tears. I'm sorry, Mi Young, she whispered, voice thick with emotion, as she gently pressed her forehead to Mi Young's, holding her as if she could somehow shield her from the heartbreak. Rumi is gonna search him soon, isn't she? Perhaps. I'm gonna put this over here. I'm fine, y'all. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you saying? What are you guys saying? You made this child. How is you mad? Wrap it up, Gio. Wrap it up, Gio is so funny. I get being scared, but that doesn't mean you get to just run away. That's the thing. It's like, yes, I am 23 right now, and I would be so frightened if I was like pregnant and I had to like have a child, if I felt pressure to have a child. Uh I don't know. You can't just go away. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. Whatever. What if the guy with the knife is related to Rumi's father? See, I doubt that. I I doubt that. But maybe I don't know. I don't know, Toss. I don't know. Like honestly, at first I was kind of thinking like maybe related to Mira's family, but they were coming for Rumi. He was coming for Rumi. Wait, you're onto something. Wait, I quoted you in the Discord. Wait, I have a theory. Give me your theory as I look at the Discord. Let me check the Discord. Are y'all on voice chat in the Discord? Y'all are on voice. Red is on. Red is on chat. Red is on chat. Wait, where's the quotes? These channels are. Oh my god, where's the quotes? Okay. It's in the quotes. Okay. Geo, there's one rule rap. Wait. Geo, there's one rule. Rap before the tap or don't tap if you, if you wait. Geo, there's one rule. Rap before the tap or don't tap if you then try to call cap. What? So many words. None of these words are in the Bible. All your trauma comes from the fact that a demon hit it first. That's really funny. That is really funny. Okay, you guys are funny. Oh, 18 plus quotes. Oh, I forgot we had an 18 plus quotes. wait. I'm gonna have so much fun. I totally forgot that we had an 18 plus quotes channel. It was your fucking yeah. Oh, this is so funny. And then Christina being like, "Okay, what on earth did I miss?" Toss being toss and making Artie react. Oh no, this is great. Little Apple break for me, y'all. Because I was getting nauseous, and that's probably because I haven't had I haven't had dinner. Um that's where the good shit is. All these words are in the Bible, but certainly not in this order. Real. Where's Toss? We could be getting sequels. RG dinner soon, please, love. Um, dinner, dinner after me finish chapter. And we will. Oh, okay. We still have some ways to go. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. I love that you just started calling him Jiho. My theory is that Jiho's family wants to get rid of Rumi because Rumi is next in line for the family inheritance. Makes sense. Makes sense, yeah. I like how your brain works. That makes sense. Um, my way of thinking was maybe he had some like long held grudge against Rumi for like taking Myung away from him or something. But that does make more sense. You have to wait and see. Okay, Toss. I worry about darling. It's okay, Red. It's okay. I'm like honestly fine. Um, I just got a moment of very weird moment of being nauseous. But I'm fine now. Do a little snacky time. Mm. I'm reading the new update right now. Lexa. I'm reading the new update right now. Already. Yes. Yes, I am. Little. You feed yourself too. Red, please. Loki at a concert right now, but y'all have fun stream. I'm scared for you. What concert? Is this one of the this reminds me of like those memes being like this concert boring as fuck and watches something else. Everyone do the eats and hydrates, please. Yes, exactly. Um it's 3:15 a.m. and I never had dinner. You eat dinner now. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. And okay. We're back to Hotpot. Haven't seen him since after that, Celine muttered, finishing her wine. Rumi tilted her head back, draining the last of her soju. The apple sweetness lingered on her tongue, but her chest still felt tight, heavy with the story that had just been dropped on her. The lore dropped. She set the bottle down carefully, fingers tracing the condensation ring it left on the table. You okay? Celine asked after a beat, her voice even, but her eyes sharp, studying Rumi like she was bracing for the worst. Rumi let out a long breath, picking her chopsticks back up just to have something in her hands. She dipped a slice of wagyu into the broth, watching the edges curl in the heat. Yeah, I guess. She took a bite, chewed, and then set the chopsticks down again. Her voice came out lower, more hesitant. It's just a lot to think about him like that, to think about how easily she gestured vaguely with her hand, searching for words, walked away like I was disposable, like we were nothing compared to some stupid family name. Rumi chewed slowly, staring into the swirl of broth as though the answer might rise up with the steam. Her chest felt heavy, like a weight had settled there. At least, she started, her voice quiet, almost drowned by the clatter of dishes around them. At least I had her, my mom, even when things were hard, even when she was sick. I never doubted she loved me. She chose me every single time. She swallowed hard, chopsticks tightening in her hand. I think that's enough, you know? Having one parent who never made me feel like a mistake, that's more than a lot of people get. Celine's eyes softened, but she didn't interrupt, letting Rumi work through it. Healing! Rumi forced a small chuckle, dipping a slice of wagyu into the broth. And honestly, I don't I don't feel like I missed out. Not really. He's a stranger. But my mom, she was everything. That's what I'll hold on to. Her voice cracked on the last word, and she quickly grabbed her soju glass, swallowing down what was left just to distract herself. Celine didn't speak right away. She just let the silence sit, only broken by the bubbling broth and the clink of dishes from another table. When she finally did, it was quiet, almost like she didn't want to intrude. She would be proud of you, Rumi, more than you know. Rumi blinked hard, pressing her lips together as her eyes stung. She forced a small smile. Yeah, I think so too. They fell back into eating after that, the food filling the spaces words couldn't reach. Rumi dropped shrimp and enoki mushrooms into her bowl, then some noodles, savoring the familiar comfort of the flavors. Across from her, Celine refilled her glass and quickly chewed a slice of pork, her expression unreadable. After a while, Celine set her chopsticks down, folding her hands in her lap. Are you staying here again tonight? Rumi shook her head, wiping her mouth with a napkin. No, I think I'll head back over to Gino's. He's probably waiting up for me. She hesitated, then offered a small, genuine smile. But thank you for telling me all that, for being honest. Celine inclined her head slightly, accepting the gratitude without trying to make more of it. You deserve to know, all of it. Rumi nodded, reaching for her bag. She figured that was the end of the night, until Celine shifted, remembering something. She reached down into her own bag and pulled something out, sliding it across the table. It was the little turtle carving. Very cute. The wood was still rough in places, half finished, the grooves uneven, but it was theirs. Rumi blinked at it, then picked it up carefully, running her thumb over the ridges of the shell. A soft, unguarded smile spread across her face. You kept this? Of course. Celine's voice was steady, but her gaze softened in a way Rumi didn't see often. If you ever want to visit again, we can work on it some more. Wood carving takes patience, but she let the words hang for a moment. I think you'd be good at it. Rumi tucked the turtle carefully into her bag, as though it were made of glass. She met Celine's eyes, her smile lingering. Yeah, I'd like that. For once, the silence between them didn't feel sharp or heavy, just possible. Okay. And that's the end of chapter proper, and we have a bonus. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Thank you. I'm gonna finish my apple. Not for the best part. Oh my god. Okay. 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 I'm seeing a lot of Genu, and I love my Genu. There's a bonus, Zen. I ran out of water. So I'm trying to. Let me blow my nose again, real quick. And now do the. Wait. Disgusting! Mm. Having a stuffy nose is the worst. A bonus that's like 2 to 3K words long. Let's get on that shit then. All right, let's get you to the car. Genu muttered with a small huff, adjusting his grip on Rumi's limp weight. Her feet barely seemed to cooperate as he half guided, half dragged her across the quiet parking lot. The cool air smelled faintly of grilled meat and asphalt, but Rumi's head was buzzing too much to focus on anything for long. Drunk Rumi? Drunk Rumi? Her knees almost buckled when they reached his car, and Genu made a soft, annoyed sound under his breath, fumbling with his keys to unlock the door. Come on, lightweight, he grumbled, pulling the door open and easing her down into the passenger seat like she was a fragile package. Rumi melted into the seat with a soft sigh, leather cool against her back. The buzzing sensation along her skin made her faintly for no reason she could name. She lifted one hand and held it out in front of her face, blinking at it like it had just appeared there. Oh, she whispered, awestruck. Her grin spread, lazy and uneven, and she turned wide eyes toward Genu. Genu? She said seriously, holding her hand up horizontally like she was about to karate chop the dashboard. I think I think I'm Spider-Man. Genu paused, halfway through buckling her seatbelt, and just stared at her. What? My She flexed her fingers dramatically, wiggling them as if she were about to shoot webs. My spidey senses. They're tingling. There was a long pause before Genu let out a sharp laugh, shaking his head as he clicked her seatbelt in place. Christ, how much did you drink? He muttered, shutting the door. How bad was it for you to be this drunk? Rumi let out a small, offended huff, sinking further into the seat until her chin almost disappeared into the collar of her sweater. I'm not drunk, she mumbled, drawing out the word like it would prove her point. I'm tipsy. Uh huh. Genu slid into the driver's seat, buckled up, and started the car with a low rumble. Sure. Rumi flopped her hand back down into her lap, staring at it for a long moment before letting out another sudden giggle. It wasn't bad, just she paused dramatically. Turns out I was the reason I didn't have a dad. Her laugh bubbled out, soft and unsteady. So we're like on a streak. The cheer in her voice cracked halfway through, and her giggle melted into a hiccup, guys. Drunk Rumi makes me so upset all the time. Drunk Rumi makes me so upset. She shouldn't get drunk. Rumi should not get drunk. Is whatever, Rumi muttered, pressing her cheek against the cool window glass. I still had my perfect Amma, so the words wobbled, slurred at the edges, but her hum that followed was steady, like she was reminding herself. Genu glanced over at her, lips parting like he might say something, but he shut his mouth again. The passing streetlights painted lazy stripes across her lap as the car rolled out of the parking lot. Rumi fumbled in her pocket, tongue poking out slightly as she wrestled with the zipper. After far too long of struggling, she finally yanked her phone free with the gracelessness of a toddler. Tinu? She mumbled, voice low and thick, her phone wobbling in her hand. He kept his eyes on the road. Hmm? Can you? She blinked blearily at the screen, then thrust it toward him like it was suddenly too heavy. Call my girlfriends? I miss them. Ginu sighed, long suffering but amused, and took the phone from her. At the next red light, he powered it on. What's your password? Rumi blinked, suddenly feeling her face heat more than it already was. Um, she turned her head away, mumbling into the glass. Well, Ginu pressed. Her cheeks puffed out before the words tumbled out in a rushed whisper. 91225. Ginu's brows furrowed as he typed. Why was that so hard to say? Rumi's smile spread slow and small, soft enough to make her look almost sober for a second. 'Cause that's the day we got together. There was a long beat. Lesbians, Ginu muttered, shaking his head with a short laugh as he scrolled through her contacts. Don't be jealous, Rumi shot back, though it came out half a mumble, half a giggle. All right, Zoe or Mira? He asked. Both, Rumi said immediately, frowning as if the question itself was offensive. I want both, not one, both. Okay, geez, he said, rolling his eyes but not arguing. And a video call, she added stubbornly, already leaning closer like she'd make sure he did it right. I want to see them. You're demanding when you're drunk, Ginu muttered under his breath. But he tapped into their group chat anyway and hit the video call button before handing the phone back. There. The light turned green, and the car eased forward again as Rumi clutched the phone close to her chest, humming softly while it rang. The call finally connected, and Mira's face filled the screen. She was curled up on the couch in an oversized t-shirt that slipped low off one shoulder, a messy bun piled high up on her head. Her round glasses perched low on her nose as she picked absent-mindedly at takeout. She squinted at the camera, clearly not expecting it. Rumi? Mira asked, tilting her head slightly. Rumi blinked at her a few times, caught completely off guard. Then she bit her lip, her whole expression shifting into awe. Mira looked absolutely gorgeous. Ding-a-ling-a-ling! Rumi blurted out suddenly, giggling at her own nonsense. That's what it would sound like if I had a sound that played every time I got whore. Before she could finish, the other side of the call connected. Oh, Zoe's face popped up, framed by dim streetlight glow. She was outside somewhere, smiling faintly down at the camera. Hold on, Zoe said softly. Let me wear my headphones. Fumbling and rustling before she came back with her wired earbuds. Voice clearer now. Okay, I'm good to go. Mira frowned faintly, leaning a little closer to her own camera. Where are you? Oh, just outside. Zoe's camera shifted as she spun it around to show the street ahead. Two boys walked a few feet in front of her. There's Mystery, obnoxiously on his back. And that's his roommate who she named. Before the shorter one could turn around, Zoe stepped forward and gave him a sharp kick right in the ass. I love Zoe. He spun on his heel with a yelp. Oh, okay. What's baby's voice? Baby has deep voice. Oh, what the hell was that? What the hell was that for? Is that too deep? Oh, what the hell was that for? Baby scowled, rubbing at himself. That was for scamming me and adopt me, Zoe shot back, her voice indignant. You stole my legendary neon fly ride giraffe. Legendary neon fly ride giraffe. I'm never forgiving you for that. She huffed, whipping the camera back to her face. Her hair was a little from the breeze, her cheeks pink from walking. Anyway, we're at the convenience store. I'm craving ramyun and candy. She grumbled under her breath. Mostly candy. From the passenger seat, Rumi let out a soft, unguarded laugh. The sound surprised even her, bubbling out as she pressed her cheek harder against the cool glass window. The chill helped soothe the warm fuzziness flooding her head. I love you guys, she whispered, the words falling out of her mouth before she could stop them. And she meant it. God, she meant it. On the other end of the call, Mira hummed, her tone warm, steady, in a way that wrapped around Rumi like a blanket. Love you too. Love you, Zoe chirped, voice bright and pitched higher than usual, teasing, but sincere underneath. Rumi blinked at the two rectangles glowing back at her lips parting. For a moment, she just stared, like the weight of all that affection was physically too much. Then she broke into a giggle, loose, airy, and uncontainable. Her head tipped back against the seat with a soft thunk. You guys are like these tiny little thingies of my phone, she slurred, holding the device too close to her face until her own blurry reflection nearly blocked theirs. She jerked it back, squinting. And I just want to tap on you. She mind pinching and dragging her fingers across the screen, dead serious, and pull you out so I can talk to you in real life. Mira froze mid bite, her chopsticks hovering in the air. Rue? She leaned forward, squinting like her nose almost pressed the screen. What are what are you even saying? Zoe tilted her head, her brows knitting together, her lips twitching like she was seconds from laughing. Rumi, are you? A beat passed, her eyes narrowing. Are you drunk? Rumi's glassy brown eyes blinked once, twice. It was like her brain needed buffering time. Then she sat up straighter, scandalized, and shook her head dramatically. No! She whined, pointing an accusatory finger toward the screen like they had committed treason. Why does everyone. I love doing drunk voice. Why does everyone think that? Someone's telling you, and I don't like that. Mira snorted outright, collapsing back against the couch. Yeah, she said dryly between bites. That tracks. She's definitely drunk. Mm-hmm. Zoe's grin broke through. Brian, yep, busted. Rumi ignored them both, pulling the phone so close her face filled the entire frame, her glossy eyes and flushed cheeks the only thing visible. Guys, she whined softly. Get out of there. I want to see you. Please. Zoe laughed under her breath, shaking her head slightly on her end. But Mira just huffed through her nose and went back to digging into her takeout. A steaming bowl of jjajangmyeon, thick black bean noodles glistening under the light. Rumi narrowed her eyes at the bowl. Her voice came out low and petulant. Mira, what are you eating? Mira blinked at her. Jjajangmyeon? Why? You're... Rumi pouted harder, her bottom lip wobbling just slightly. You're supposed to be eating me! There was silence. Oh my god. Is this age protected? Is this age protected? Because I don't remember. I don't remember if I set up age protection. Well, there was silence. Then on Rumi's screen, she watched Mira choke so violently on her noodles she almost fell off the couch. Mira's chopsticks clattered against the table as she doubled over, coughing. pounding her chest with her fist until one rogue noodle slapped back onto the plate. Zoe froze, blinking rapidly at the screen. Do you just. She stared at Mira, completely dumbfounded. Are you okay? Mira held up a shaky hand while grabbing her water bottle with the other, wheezing between coughs. Never been better. She took a long gulp of water, cheeks pink and glossy eyed from choking, then shot Rumi the sharpest glare she could muster. It might have been intimidating if Rumi didn't giggle at her like she just told the funniest joke in the world. And then Rumi made it worse. Oh no! Rumi made it worse. She leaned, she leaned closer to the camera, voice dropping an octave into something low and slow. Obviously. Yeah? Wonder what else you could choke on, Mira? Mira immediately squeezed the water bottle in her hand so hard it splashed across her face, sputtering mid drink as she choked for the second time in less than a minute. Zoe practically yelped, clutching her headphones like they'd fly off. Rumi! Her cheeks were pink now, too, though she quickly ducked out of the frame like that would hide it. Please, for the love of God, let her breathe! On Rumi's screen, Mira got up abruptly and disappeared from view, her coughing still audible in the background as she slammed the water bottle down somewhere. Rumi blinked at the now empty space on the couch, humming softly to herself as she leaned back against the seat again, unbothered. Oops, she mumbled, curling into the cool car door with a lazy smile tugging at her lips. From the driver's seat, Ginu side-eyed her like she was a walking lawsuit waiting to happen. I didn't hear any of that, he muttered, keeping his gaze fixed on the glowing stretch of traffic light. Stay out of it, Ginu. No one's talking to you. Rumi shot suddenly, her words slurred but sharp. Ginu blinked slowly, side-eyeing her as he made a left turn. I never wanted to be in it. He gestured vaguely toward her phone. But you're in my car, screaming at your girlfriends, trying to whatever the hell you're doing, seduce them. I can't not hear it. Rumi rolled her eyes so dramatically it almost looked painful. Don't worry, guys, she mumbled into her phone, brushing Ginu off with a lazy wave of her hand. He's just mad because he doesn't have two amazing, loving, hot, gorgeous, perfect girlfriends like me. Her reflection on the screen caught her eye, and for a second, she just stared. Her pupils looked big, her cheeks were flushed, and maybe it was the buzzing under her skin, or maybe it was the silence on the other end, but suddenly her chest squeezed. Because what if they weren't hers? The thought came out of nowhere, sharp and mean. She blinked blearily at her own reflection on the screen after that. And then, out of nowhere, her lips started trembling. The tears came fast, unannounced, like they'd been hiding behind the buzz all along. Her chest tightened, a hiccup caught in her throat as her glassy eyes welled up. On screen, Mira reappeared, toweling off her face from her earlier choking fiasco, settling back onto the couch. Zoe's camera shifted too. She'd stepped into a convenience store, her screen brightening as she murmured a soft, polite hello to the clerk. Then Zoe glanced back at her phone and immediately frowned when she saw Rumi's watery eyes and puffed cheeks. Rumi? Baby, what's wrong? Rumi sniffed hard and then dropped her phone into her lap, burying her face in her hands. Don't talk to me. Her voice cracked halfway through. Rumi? Mira murmured, brows pinched as she leaned forward, voice softer now. And then Rumi wailed, You guys are cheating on me! Ginu, mid-turn, whipped his head toward her so fast the car swerved slightly. Wait, what? He glanced down at her phone screen, at the two equally confused girls staring back at him. Who who are you even accusing right now? Zoe blinked rapidly, startled into silence. What? Rumi, Mira said softly, tone already carrying the weight of someone who's dealt with a girl's drunk brain before. Rumi hiccuped and sniffled harder, clutching the phone like it might float away. I'm jealous of me, she cried, pointing a shaky finger at the screen. Oh, because she took my two beautiful girlfriends away. That isn't fair. She's trying to steal you from me. There was a beat of stunned silence. Zoe blinked. Sweetheart, we're not. What Zoe is trying to say, Mira cut in smoothly, rubbing her temple, is that we are dating you, not you. Rumi blinked, the logic swirling somewhere in the haze of her mind before it clicked. Her tears slowed instantly, lips curling into the softest, dopey little smile. Okay. Zoe cracked, giggling into her mic. God, you're so silly when you're drunk, Rue. Mira raised a brow and smirked faintly, leaning back on the couch. Like you got room to talk, she teased, a knowing lilt in her tone. You're a mess when you're drunk. Zoe gasped softly, placing a hand over her heart like she'd been personally attacked. I am not! Yes, you are. Mira didn't even look up from her noodles. Remember New Year's Eve? Or should I refresh your memory? Zoe's screen dipped as she scoffed, wandering further into the convenience store, clearly choosing to disengage before Mira brought receipts. Rumi sniffled again, softly, half listening, but mostly watching Zoe as she started grabbing things off the shelves. Ramyun, a couple candy bars, a bag of chips. Rumi found herself staring, her chest warm and fuzzy. Her Zoe. She watched as Zoe plopped everything on the counter, then switched to the self service station nearby, setting up the camera carefully against the wall. All right, Zoe said, adjusting her earbuds before opening the ramyun lid. Welcome back to Zoe's Gourmet Corner, she announced, grinning at the screen. Today, we're making instant ramyun because I'm a broke college student. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mira snorted loudly off screen, chopsticks still in hand. You're insufferable. I want some, Rumi mumbled, pouting hard as Zoe poured hot water from the dispenser and sealed the lid. A little honey break, y'all. Little honey break for me because someone's throat is tired. Oh shit. Honey got stuck in my throat. You've read worse in the polycule. Oh yeah. I wasn't reading it out loud. Like I said, I can read anything on my own. Oh my god. Artie, don't die. What, you're method acting as Mirren? Nah, I've read worse in the Megacule. Oh, I have. And Trinity, you're a main culprit. Not me saying you're doing good and then you start choking. I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay. Okay. Zoe gasped softly, eyes widening like she just remembered she was live on her show. Oh no, my poor viewer's hungry. She ripped open her bag of chips and held it up to the camera. Here, take some. Mira, me doing a mukbang. Mira played along, leaning into the frame and pretending to pluck a chip. Mmm, delicious, thank you. Her mouth twitched like she was trying not to laugh. From the car, Chinu's voice cut sharp. Rumi froze mid motion, her deer and headlights. But she heard, genuinely wounded. It, laughter bubbling until she nearly dropped her chopsticks. Mira snorted into her bowl. Please don't encourage her. Please don't encourage her, Jinu grumbled. Shut it, Jigsaw. Mira shot back without missing a beat. Let my girlfriend do what she wants. Yeah, leave her alone, Jinu. She's just a girl. So she's just a girl. Um Zoe echoed, giving the camera a mock stern look as she stirred in her seasoning. The steam curled warm and spicy, and she took a big, satisfied slurp. Guys, this is actually bomb. Well, I'm the one dealing with her right now, Jinu muttered under her breath, eyes on the road. Rumi blinked at the camera, watching Zoe hum as she twirled noodles with exaggerated care. She glanced back at Jinu, face hopeful. Can we get some raw? No. His answer was flat, immediate. Rumi's bottom lip pushed out in a perfect pout, and she turned back to the screen. Mira's voice dropped low. I will come through that screen and beat you up, Jinu, if you don't get my girlfriend what she wants. Jinu huffed a long, suffering laugh. Okay, okay, I'll get her something later. He shot Rumi a mock stern look, but no phone licking. Rumi grinned triumphant, clutching the phone to her chest. We have a little line. We don't have much left. Final stretch, baby. Trin is in the one in Trin is the one in the mega kill. Oh yeah. Yeah, like causing chaos all the time. No, because I listened to and I just thought of Sex on the Beat by Adele. Which like I don't know, if you listen to it, you'll get what I mean. Really good song. I'm not. Oh, girl, who are you trying to fool? Okay, I'm gonna finish this. Placing 3 water bottles and an orange. I'll just leave right now. Like I'll just leave and like never come back. Oh my god, it's so much nicer here. The orange strikes again. Oh great. I think Toss is doing this purposefully. Orange cameo, LMAO. I opened my door. I hope my roommates don't complain. But it's really hot in here. Okay. Okay, placing 3 water bottles and an orange on the nightstand. I'll get your noodles tomorrow. Good night. Night, Jinu. Rumi mumbled as he slipped out, closing the door. The second he left, she peeled out of her clothes with all the grace of a tangled octopus, nearly tripping twice before she managed to pull her pajamas over her head. By the time she collapsed onto the bed, she let out a long sigh, the sheets cool against her skin, her brain still swimming pleasantly. Plugging her phone in, she blinked blearily at the screen. Mira had moved to the kitchen to rinse her bowl, still in that oversized shirt, hair slipping loose from her bun. Zoe was on the move again, plastic bag swinging at her side, earbuds in, camera pointed at the ground as she walked. A grin curled her lips. Hey, Zoe, she hummed, her words sticky and slow. You're really pretty right now. Did anyone tell you that today? Zoe glanced down at her phone, startled. Her lips quirked. Okay. Her lips quirked. No, but thank you. Rumi gave a serious little nod, though it was ruined by the way she flopped face first into her pillow. She peeked one eye open at Zoe's camera, whispering like it was a scandalous secret. Don't tell Mira, but sometimes you're so cute I want to kiss the screen. Zoe's smile widened and she giggled. Really? From the kitchen, Mira's voice cut in, dry as ever. I can hear you, idiot. Rumi giggled, rolling onto her back. Oops. She lifted her phone over her head and squinted at the little squares of their faces, eyes glimmering mischievously. Want to see something cool, Zoe? She slurred, a sly smile curling her lips. Zoe glanced at the camera, suspicious but smiling. Uh, I'm scared, but sure. Rumi giggled, already tugging her phone closer. Her tipsy brain buzzing with mischief. I have a guess what she's gonna do. Don't tell Mira, she whispered like it was some top secret confession. But this is for you. And then, Rumi! Zoe yelped. There was a loud clang, followed by the camera swinging violently before going pitch black. Rumi sat up instantly, heart jumping into her throat. What happened? Zoe? Mira's sharp voice cut in, towel still in her hands as she turned toward the sound. The line filled with rustling, baby's obnoxious laughter, and Mystery muttering something like, You okay? In the background. Then Zoe's voice came, groaning and a little breathless. Oh shit! I'm okay! I'm okay! A beat, then a soft, incredulous laugh slipped out of her. Did I seriously just. Yeah, I did. I literally just walked into a pole. Oh, Zoe, never change. Mira stared at the screen, eyes wide. You what? Rumi clutched her phone to her chest, eyes huge. Oh my god, I killed her, she whispered, horrified. I didn't mean to. You didn't kill me, Zoe's voice came back, still dazed. Her camera tilted up again as she rubbed her forehead, a red mark blooming just under her hairline. I'm fine, okay? Just ow. Mira let out a long, slow sigh, dragging her hand down her face. Unbelievable. How does someone even. Zoe groaned, pointing toward the screen like Rumi could feel the accusation through the glass. It was her fault! Rumi's eyes flicked suspiciously back to Rumi. Her fault? What did she do? TikTok has to be annoying all the time. Okay. Rumi froze. The grin tugging at her lips gave her away. Nothing. She mumbled into the pillow. Rumi, Mira warned. Rumi peeked out with one eye, giggling uncontrollably now. I might have flashed her. Mira's eyes went wide. You what? Zoe flushed instantly, nearly tripping over her own feet again. Don't say it out loud, she hissed, mortified. Rumi dissolved into laughter, rolling onto her back and kicking the blanket weakly. It just happened. Mira pressed her lips together, fighting the twitch threatening her mouth. You're such a menace. Rumi gets menace roll in the Discord. The evilest, Zoe groaned, still holding her forehead. I think I'm gonna actually bruise. Rumi hummed lazily, a mischievous grin stretching across her face. Not my fault you two can't handle me. Mira sighed softly. Rumi, can you go drink the water Ginu gave you? Don't wanna, Rumi mumbled into her pillow. It was easier to sink into the warm, heavy fog of her bed than to think about moving. God, what is it with drunk people and suddenly becoming water phobic? Mira muttered, dragging a hand down her face. Then, softer, she leaned closer to her camera. Princess? That cut through the haze like a spark. Rumi's eyes cracked open, unfocused but drawn to the word. She smiled faintly. You called? No, that would work on me. No, because that would work on me. Hi, Reef. I'm sorry. Let's finish this real quick. Um, Zoe immediately snorted, half laughing, half covering her laugh. Oh no, don't encourage her, Mira. You need to drink some water. Mira repeated slowly, like she was speaking to a stubborn child. Or you're going to hate yourself in the morning. Drink some water, please, for me. Rumi blinked at the phone, Mira's face swimming in and out of focus. For you, huh? She murmured. Kinda unfair using that voice on me. Zoe perked up instantly. Oh, she's got a point, Mira. You went full soft voice there. Mira shot her a look. I'm not. You so are. Rumi giggled, rolling onto her back. Say it again. The for me thing? Rumi. Mira pinched the bridge of her nose, but her cheeks were faintly pink. Just drink the water. Rumi let out a long sigh. Fine, but only because Zoe owes me a triple dog dare. I do, Zoe grinned, throwing her hands up. I triple dog dare you, Room. That made Rumi laugh again, her chest warm at the sight of their faces. One serious, one teasing, both looking right at her. She finally grabbed a bottle, fumbling with the cap until it popped open. She drank gulp after gulp, not realizing until halfway through how desperately thirsty she was. That's what happens. There you go, Mira said, her voice softening. Good girl. The, the words made Rumi's stomach flip. She beamed sleepily, lifting the bottle to the camera like she'd won a prize. Ta-da! Can you drink a little more for me? Mira asked gently. Rumi obeyed this time, draining the rest. The room swayed pleasantly when she dropped the empty bottle onto the nightstand. Her hand drifted toward the orange next, nails digging clumsily into the peel. She made a mess of it, rind piling onto the wood. Zoe chuckled at the sight. You're fighting for your life over there, huh? Rumi popped a slice into her mouth, then leaned back, eyes half lidded as she chewed. Worth it. So good. Better? Zoe asked, still smiling. Rumi nodded, cheeks stuffed. She swallowed and murmured, You guys will stay on the phone with me when I go to sleep? Of course, Mira hummed, steady as ever. You got it, Zoe said, softer this time. The warmth of their voices made her chest ache. She tried to ignore it, staring instead at the pile of orange peels. The longer she stared, though, the blurrier they became. Her lips curved into a faint giggle at how dumb they looked scattered everywhere. But then another fruit came to mind. Plums. Her mom. The thought slipped in quiet and sharp, and suddenly her throat closed. She blinked hard, too hard. The juice in her mouth went sour. By the time she realized it, tears were already welling. Room? Zoe's voice cracked through the line. You good? Rumi hiccuped, swiping at her face with the back of her wrist. The sting of the juice almost got in her eyes, and she whimpered. Baby, what's wrong? Zoe said again, panic edging her voice now. I I just Rumi choked, curling tighter around her pillow. The words clawed out of her chest before she could stop them. I miss my mom. The silence after was heavy. Oh, sweetheart. Mira's voice came low, gentle, steady in the way it always was when she tried to anchor someone. It's okay. Just let it out. You're safe. Zoe's face softened instantly, all her playful edges gone. Yeah, Rune, it's okay to cry. We're here. Rumi sniffled, clutching the pillow like it could keep her from breaking apart. I want to see her again so bad. I know, Mira whispered. I know. She loved you so much. She'd be so proud of you, Room. She is proud of you. Zoe nodded fiercely. You've got us. You're not alone, okay? We're not going anywhere. Rumi's chest heaved, tears spilling hot down her cheeks. But hearing them, two voices, different but both wrapping around her, made it a little easier to breathe. Her eyelids grew heavy, exhaustion tugging at her, while her tears kept slipping. Mira's voice was the last thing she remembered. Sleep, princess. We've got you. And she did, finally letting go. On the screen, Mira and Zoe sat in silence for a long while, watching her breathing steady. Neither hung up. I like that a lot. I like that very much. Oh my god, Nova's comment. Hi Artie. Hi Nova. Fuck, Rumi's that. Should I just comment? It was your dick. Yup, watch the whole thing. Damn. Toss. 6 hours of reading. Wow. We did it. Okay, I'll just comment it. It was your dick. Clap it up for Artie. Clap it up for Toss. Toss, finish this just so I could read it. Just so I could have a 6 hour stream. You've been reading live for 6 hours? Yeah. I've been here since 5 p.m. It's just the phlegm. It's just the phlegm. Thank you, Toss. Thank you, Artie. You're welcome. Hope y'all were entertained. Oh my god, TikTok. Nor. The live will not end, I assure you, TikTok. I assure you. Okay. It's 5 a.m. God hates to see me watch an Artie stream. No, real as fuck. Now everyone go rest. The lag, no. There is a lag. I do notice that. I do see the lag. Have you read One Day Will You Come Home to Me? I've had it recommended. That's one of the ones that I've had recommended. I don't have time to read all of them. Need to go to sleep. Gotta wake up at 3 a.m. Bye, Toss. Go to sleep. Go to sleep right now. Oh my god, 3 a.m. Why does Toss need to wake up at 3 a.m.? Have you thought maybe I don't want to rest? Oh my god. I'm gonna say bye to the YouTube. Bye, YouTube. I'm so glad I managed to get most of that on YouTube.